everybody. Good morning, good morning. Let's make some more biscuits. And I have new subscribers, and I thought that I would do another video while I'm making them. I might as well video it, right? I've got 3 cups of self-rising flour. And if you use all-purpose flour, just add 1 to 1/2, 1 1/2 of baking powder per cup of flour, and about 1/2 teaspoon, well, I would say maybe 2 teaspoons or a teaspoon and a half at least of salt. Because if you don't put salt in your all-purpose flour, your biscuits are going to taste like nothing. So when I use all-purpose flour, I'll add, if I got 3 cups, I'll add like 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. You can add about 1 to 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder per cup, and probably 1/2 teaspoon of salt per cup. You don't want it too salty, but you do want to, you want to know you got some salt in it, or they're not going to have much taste. And with Crisco, I usually use about 1/4 of a cup, or a little less than 1/4 of a cup per cup of flour. And you can use butter. Make sure your butter's cold. And make sure you mix it up really good. And I also like to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That helps with the browning. Not salt, sugar. Sorry, y'all. I'm still trying to wake up. About 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, up to a teaspoon. And it doesn't make them sweet, I promise. Okay, let me get a spoon. My big old spoon. And I use whole buttermilk. You can use regular milk if you don't have buttermilk. And if you don't have buttermilk and you want buttermilk, and most of y'all know this, just put some vinegar. Put about a couple of teaspoons of vinegar per cup of milk. Let it sit for a few minutes, and it works the same way. All right, that's 1 cup. And don't make your dough too wet, because if you do, it will not rise very well. That's 1 1/2 cups so far. And that looks good. You want to be able to press your dough together. You don't want it real wet, like I said. You want to preheat your oven to 500 degrees. And I have a pan here with some parchment paper. That is a heavy bowl. And just press your biscuits together, or your dough, I mean. And then if you want layers in it, just fold it. And I try not to overwork it, but one day I forgot to put the cheese in my biscuits. Because I was making cheese biscuits and I forgot to put the cheese in it. And they were not tough. I was so surprised. So I'm not real sure about this overworking the dough. I think you could probably, if you work it too much, yeah. But you don't want to knead it a whole lot. They always say the lighter the hand, the lighter the biscuit. But I had to work mine a little bit to get my cheese after I had already worked it. And I worked it some more, and they were really tender. So I'm not sure about all that. I'm sure the more gluten that you develop, you know, the tougher it can be. Now you roll them out to the size you want, because they're going to rise. And I like mine a little big today. And we're going to do hearts. Big hearts. Aren't they pretty? And I don't twist mine because that seals it, and then you won't get that pretty, those pretty layers. Okay. Well, you can definitely roll them thinner. It's totally up to you. And you want them kind of close together because they like to be together. And these are going to be pretty big. See if I can get one more. There we go. I'm gonna pop these in the refrigerator until my oven finishes preheating. I'm gonna clean up my mess, but I just wanted to say that was 3 cups of self-rising flour. And almost a 1/2 cup of shortening. And 1½ cups of buttermilk. Now, most of you know that when you use this dried beef, most of the time you need to rinse it. I gotta find a can opener to get this open. There we go. It smells really beefy, smells good. And it's very salty. So you probably want to well, yeah, you probably want to rinse it. It's pretty salty. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's a good flavor. I left one of my racks that's not really, I don't think it's supposed to be put in the oven, one of them. And I didn't see it when I was preheating my oven. And, well, it did a lot of smoke in the house up. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Okay. So, I didn't use all of it. I put the rest of it in the refrigerator, back in the jar, because it seals tight. And you just want to, after you rinse it, just, you know, pat it dry with a paper towel. If you've ever tried that chipped beef by Stouffer's, that chipped beef and gravy, that's what I want to make. You know, kind of like a copycat of that. So that's rinsed and patted dry. And then we're going to just cut it up, slice it up a little bit. Chipped beef and gravy with biscuits. It looks like pepperoni a little bit. And you just want to just cut it in half. And then I'm just going to slice it like this. Now, you don't have to cut it as small as I did, but that's the way we like it. You can leave it You can cut it in half and then cut it in half again and leave it in bigger pieces. But I kind of like it like this for the gravy. It's your preference. Now that's about a half a cup of the beef. And I will let you know exactly what kind of beef it is. I'll put it in the description box. But it's Armour sliced dried beef, 95% fat-free. There you go. And I've got a couple of cups of whole milk. Got about a half a cup of flour. And I've got my beef. And in my pan here, I've got about a tablespoon of bacon grease. You don't have to use that if you don't like it. And about a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons of butter. And I'm gonna do salt and pepper and a little bit of onion powder. Now, if you want garlic powder in there or any other type of seasoning, absolutely feel free to add it. I need a new stand and I just haven't got one yet. Let me try to get my little you just want to get this hot. And then we're going to add some flour. Actually, I want to add my beef. Okay, y'all, I'm just browning up my chipped beef a little bit. Like I said, you can put more in there if you want to. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. Now that's been simmering for a few minutes. And I'm going to sprinkle in a couple of tablespoons of flour. And some onion powder, just a little bit for seasoning. Don't want much. Excuse my arm. A little bit of salt and pepper. I always try to put the same amount of flour as I do fat. I try to. It don't always work that way. You just want to brown that up a little bit. The browner your flour gets is the color your gravy's going to be. It smells so good. Right, I don't want like a real dark gravy for the chipped beef. And my milk is cold. It does not have to be hot. I've said that before. Now, I may have to add some more milk. I just got 2 cups to start with. And you don't have, you can dilute it with water. I may do that. As a matter of fact, let me do that. Let me shut that door. He's turned the TV on. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, just stir that up and let it get thick. And if you don't want it real thick, just add more milk. If you like it really thick, then don't. All right, let me throw my biscuits in there. About 13 minutes. 13, 14 minutes. You can even use carnation evaporated milk for this. That makes a really rich gravy, but when I use that, I usually dilute it some with water. Unless you like it that rich. And black pepper, of course, with gravy, right? Mm-hmm. If it gets too thick, I'll add a little bit more water. The main thing about making gravy is just, I usually have same fat, same amount of flour. Fat meaning bacon grease, butter, oil, and then I brown it some, let it cook the raw flour taste out, and then just add enough liquid, a little at a time, to the, and you know, let it cook, and you'll see your desired thickness. And just add, or, you know, not add, whatever you like as far as the consistency of your gravy. And I put that in the sink. So now that's the way that I like it. And I'm gonna take it and turn the stove off. There we go, chip beef gravy. And I need to taste it. Let's see if I need any salt, any more salt. Oh my, y'all, that is so good. Oh, it's delicious. It is delicious. I'm tickled. That little tiny bit of onion powder really did something to it. And then the beef and that black pepper, that makes gravy just over the top. All right, here's mine. I got a little plate with a little bit of egg. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Y'all, that is so good. It's better than the other kind that you buy. It's good. Whew, that arthritis hurts. Look at it. It's going this way. Whew. Look at that. All right. I'll put the recipe in the description box. I'm gonna go eat. I'll see y'all later for dinner on A Taste of Country. Love y'all. Here we go. Go put some gravy on it. And he wanted some scrambled eggs. Give him some eggs. There we go. Breakfast. Breakfast for the champion. Alrighty. Here you go. See it?